Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joanne M. Ortiz. My report is about information processing theory. Information processing theory is a cognitive theory that uses computer processing as a metaphor for the workings of the human brain. Initially proposed by George A. Miller and other American psychologists in the 1950s, the theory describes how people focus on information and encode it into their memories. Information communication theory. These theories focus on internal mental processes that occur as opposed to external behaviors. The mind takes in information, performs operations to change its form, stores it, and retrieves it when needed. The three major categories of these are sensory memory, working or short-term memory, long-term memory. Sensory memory. Sensory memory takes in information exactly how we sense it, but doesn't leave much time for processing and creating knowledge from it. Humans usually respond to 6 different stimuli with particular attention. Number 1, size or large things. Number 2, intensity, bright and loud stimuli. Number 3, novelty, new and unusual things. Number 4, incongruity, things that don't make sense within a given context. Number 5, emotion, stimuli with strong emotional attachments. Number 6, personal significance, stimuli. Working memory. Once we pay attention to a stimulus, we transfer this information to our working memory, where the information is put to use. Central executive acts as a supervisor, deems what is important and what strategies to use to process information. Working memory holds 5 to 9 chunks of data at a time. Working memory can include processes that are outside its conscious awareness. Some information is more readily available than others, and our capacity for storing information in working memory varies. Working memory. Information in working memory is typically lost within 5 to 20 seconds, but it stays longer if we are constantly using it. Automatic and effortful processing. Couch, apple, chair, mom, dad, table, orange, lamp, sister, grapes, brother, and rug. Long-term memory. Types of knowledge. Explicit. Information we are consciously aware of, such as facts learned at school. Implicit. Information we are now aware of, such as routines and procedures. How to drink out of a big kid cup. Long-term memory. How memories are stored. Network theory. Information is stored in propositions. You can find multiple propositions within a single thought. Schema theory. Information is stored in pre-existing frameworks. Why do we sometimes have a harder time remembering things that are important than we do remembering things that are not as important? Long-term memory. Forget it. Encoding failure. The information never made it to the long-term memory. Storage decay. We lose information very quickly at first, but the curve levels off. retrieval failure. We know we learned the information but can't remember exactly what it was. Individual differences in information processing. Sensory information processing. Younger children process information more slowly than older children. Selective attention increases with age. The older, the better we are at focusing. Girls may have an advantage over boys at remembering items on lists. Working information processing. Young children have less working memory capacity than older children. Developmental differences. Older individuals process information faster and therefore can retrieve before it decays. Young children may be learning information for the first time. The more types of knowledge you gain, the better you can understand, organize, retain new information. Differences in strategy use. Automaticity. The ability to respond quickly and efficiently while mentally processing or physically performing a task. Examples: flashcards and practice. Practice and practice. Application and teaching. Number 1. Plan for attention level. Number 2. Use attention signals. Number 3. Keep students' attention engaged. Number 4. Respect attentional limits. Application to teaching. Helping students store and retrieve information effectively. Organization. Conceptual understanding. Task analysis. Relevance. Automaticity. Acquisition of procedural knowledge. What is information processing theory? A cognitive theory that focuses on how information is encoded into our memory. The theory describes into our brain filter information from what we're paying attention to the present moment to what gets stored in our short-term or working memory and ultimately into our long-term memory. The information processing is based on the idea that humans actively process the information they receive from their senses, like a computer does. The premise of information processing theory is that creating a long-term memory is something that happens in stages. First, we perceive something through our sensory memory, which is everything we can see, hear, feel, or taste in a given moment. Why is information processing important? Memory plays an important role in information processing, particularly in the interpretation of information when we rely on our previous experiences. It identifies that memory involves a sequence of 3 stages or stores. That's all. Thank you.